Salve discipuli. So after last lesson, which was everything you never wanted to know about Latin verbs, we at least have enough now that I can introduce to you the second case. Not the second case in the list, right? Because the list goes nominative, which we've now used as the subject of a verb. Genitive, still have no idea what that is. Not me, you. Dative, still don't know that one. And now we're going to learn accusative. So accusative, it's pretty far down the list, right? But it's going to be the second case that we learn. So the accusative case is going to be the case of the direct object. And I really want to highlight this. There we go. Boom. The direct object in English is the thing that the verb acts upon. So it's like this. In a sentence, you have an actor, and I need to have my pen on. You have an actor. He is the, let's say he's like the main character of a play, right? He's the subject. Or in Latin, he would be in the nominative case. Okay. He is going to perform some kind of action. Okay, notice how my little arrow goes through the action. Now, this is a transitive verb, right? Which means that it's a verb that's going to carry the action of the actor across and onto something else. And so the direct object is the thing directly affected by the action. Thing or person, I should say, or person directly affected. And so in English, this is called the direct object. Okay, direct because it's directly affected by the action of the verb. In Latin, this is the accusative case. Okay, so now you can see we have some verbs to work with now. We have orat, we have laudat, and we can use them to do things. Okay. Now, the direct object is the noun which receives the action of the verb. Not every sentence will have one. Okay, there's a lot of English sentences out there that don't have direct objects. There's a lot of Latin sentences out there that don't have direct objects. Now, they all have subjects. Those are there. They might be built into the ending on the verb, but they're there. But direct objects aren't really a necessary part of life. To find your direct object, say the subject, noun, and verb, and then ask who or what. Your answer then is usually the direct object of the sentence. So the direct object of a Latin sentence is put into the accusative case. The sailor sees the land. I'm not in my little thing here, and I'm just scribbling all over my paper now. There. The sailor sees the land. What does he see? The land. There you go. I asked the question, got the answer. So this means, okay, the sailor, if I'm going to diagram this, let's see, go back to drawing. Here's my, sorry, sailor really would go down below, but I don't have space to try to get him in here. So it's like that, okay, where you always have the subject to the left of your line, remember, and the verb and the rest of the predicate off to the right-hand side. Get that out of my way now, because what I'm going to do is, all right, the sailor is the actor. He's the person doing the seeing. So he is our subject. He would be in the nominative. Use some abbreviations here because I don't have a lot of space. Singular, because there's one sailor. What does he do? What's the action? He sees. Okay, so it's a he, right? That means it has to be the third person singular ending, the one with the T on the end. So I'm going to go T. Like that. And then land, we said that's the direct object. That's the thing that he is directly affecting with his seeing. Okay, it's like he's shooting little arrows out his eyes and it's hitting the land out in front. So this is our direct object, and in Latin, this would be the accusative. Now, land is singular, so it's going to be the accusative singular ending. And so you'll see here the nominative singular, okay, nauta, right? So we have our short A on the end. That's the nominative singular ending. And then I'll change colors here. And for my direct object, right? So I have an accusative case here. Now, hold on, you might say. This is not in the same order, right? Look, here's my T. My T on my widget is right there. You'll notice they aren't in the same order. So please be careful of this. English is what we call an SVO language, which means that most of our sentences, our basic sentence structure, is it goes subject, verb, object, SVO. And Latin is not. Latin prefers to have the verb at the end of the sentence. It doesn't always have to be there, just like English word order doesn't always have to be subject, verb, object. I mean, poetry messes that up all the time. That's why students don't like it. Well, same thing in Latin, okay? It doesn't always have to be in the same order, but you'll notice that in this particular case, let me see here. This is, in English, S-V-O. Latin word order tends to be S-O-V, right? Subject, direct object, and then verb, okay? In Latin, the most important person or thing in the sentence goes first, okay? And then the second most important thing, which is the thing that they're acting on, they're doing, right? Because they're the main character, is going to be at the end. So the beginning and the end part of a Latin sentence are the two most important things, the subject and its verb. Okay, everything else is filler on the inside, basically. And so that's where our poor direct object gets stuck. He's a second-class character in the story that is our sentence. So when we write Latin, I want you guys to always put the nominative subject first, then the accusative direct object second, and then the verb last. Okay, you all can get fancy with word order when you're much better. Taking a look at the next sentence, Mary sees the sailors. All right, remembering that English word order is generally subject. Who's doing the action? Mary. Okay, she's shooting the arrows out of her eyes. She sees, there's our verb, the sailors, all right, the person that she's looking at. So they are our object. So there's SVO, the normal English word order. And then to switch this and see what it looks like into Latin, if Mary is our nominative subject, sees is our verb, all right? Who sees? Mary sees. Mary is a she. So she, that verb ending you're going to look for is the T ending. Okay, she's not a they. And then the sailors. So this is accusative because it's the direct object, an accusative case. Accusative means to point something out, right? That's why I like to draw a little arrow through my verb to the direct object because it's pointing out the direct object. Is going to be in the accusative case, but sailors, there's more than one of them. So I need to make sure I use the accusative plural ending when I write this in Latin. So taking these grammatical roles, right, the subject and the verb and the direct object, I'm going to put the right endings on them, and then I'm going to put them into Latin word order. So the nominative, okay, the nominative singular for my first declension noun is a. So I'm going to put that on the stem for Mary, so Maria. And then let's see. Okay, for my next, so right when we're going into Latin word order, I need my object next. So actually, I'm going to go purple. So for the accusative plural, so for the word for sailor is nauta, nautai, right? Take off the genitive ending. The stem is N-A-U-T, okay? And then putting it through all of the case endings, the accusative plural ending is os. So sailors in the accusative plural would be nautos, nautos. So that's this ending right here. And then the T on the end of the verb to indicate that my subject is a he, she, or it. In this case, It's she. So Maria nautas videt. And that's going to be if you're thinking in terms of word order, subject, object, verb. Okay. Now, trying your own. Okay. Take a moment. If you haven't done this in class and this is the first time you're watching this and you didn't see it live streamed or anything, take time, stop the video, do this on your own. Otherwise, the answers to these would be, let me see, this is nominative singular. There's our subject. Here is our verb. He's singular, so it's T. And lands would be the accusative plural. So we end up with nauta. Okay, there's the subject. Now I need the object. Lands would be teras. And then sees is videt. Nauta teras videt. Okay. Sailors praise victory. So remember in English, SVO, so SVO. The sailors are the ones performing, they're the actors who are performing the action. They are plural, there's more than one of them. So this would be the nominative plural case. This is then if my subject is plural, my verb has to be plural as well, NT on the end. And then victory, all right, is singular, all right, it's not victories, it's victory. So accusative singular, always making that choice in your head about whether it is singular or plural. So switching it around now so that we have SOV order, subject, object, verb, you're going to have now, and then if you look up here, right, the nominative plural ending is AE. So now tie, all right, praise is loud, and then we have our ending. So we want the NT ending. Oh, sorry, I'm not doing this in the right order. I'm getting all being too linear. Object, there we go. Thank you, Mrs. Grace. Victoriam. Okay, accusative singular ending, so AM. And now I'll put my they praise. You should have memorized, and the vocabulary is laudant. And so now it's organized in subject, object, verb order. Okay. The sailors see the gate. The sailors, there's more than one of them. Okay, they're my subject, and so they are plural. If my subject is plural, I need to make sure I have NT on the end of my verb in Latin in this case, and then the gate is going to be my object, which means it will go in the accusative case, not abbreviating, accusative case in Latin, and there is only one of them. It is just gate, not gates. So I put singular. That means that changing this now into SOV order, didn't put my period, we have nominative plural sailors, so now tie. We have gate in the singular, portam, and the word for see in the third person plural, vident. And that's all you need to know in order to translate the sentences for this lesson. Have a great day.